Hey guys, it's Will, and honestly, the market's been swinging all over the place today. It is seeming like most investors were kind of freaking out, reacting emotionally for sure. But when we're looking at the market, let's talk about SYM. This is a stock that we've been covering for quite some time. They just crushed their earnings with over $600 million in revenue, which is some real growth. And real robotics automation is at scale. But even great earnings don't mean that the stocks are going to go straight up, right? That's a lesson to learn. A lot of these markets move in waves, not like stairs, and the waves can shake you out as well. So this morning it was very volatile. There's a lot of candles, there's a lot of news, there's a lot of defined entries, a lot of planned exits. We did a lot of controlled risk. We weren't guessing this morning. We were just simply applying a process. We were able to turn a profit this morning so far on SYM. We're up about $275 right now profit, protecting the downside first, but also looking for some upside in this market. And in Stockmate, I shared every single entry and exit live, so you can see exactly how the decisions are made, not just from the results, but if you want to trade with us live at market open and learn how we manage risk, how we stay profitable, even on crazy days like this, you can join us in the second link below for Stockmate. And just a heads up, when you go to the page for Stockmate, there's a space tech sale that's ending soon, which includes a free t-shirt for Stockmate. I'd love to send it to you anywhere in the world. Let's jump into SYM stock. So a couple things to consider. This comes down to a breakdown. AK says, "Hey bro, where's my Stockmate?" Let me answer this question really quick, guys, before we get into it. We'll do a full analysis. You say, "Where is my Stockmate? You tried to get, but ... Were you having trouble getting Stockmate? Or you're saying you got Stockmate, but you're having trouble accessing it. If you're having trouble accessing, go to the email. Check your spam or promotions if you don't see it right in your inbox. You can also send me a message to will@cash2assets.com. It's in the description as well. But check your email 15 minutes before the market open, AK. We send out an email to every single member for the live session right at market open. 15 minutes before. So 15 minutes before market open, AK, check your email. Did you get an email? The subject line is titled, "We are live." We're live is actually what it says. We're live. Okay. So check my messages. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what messages you're talking about. You're talking about my Instagram messages. You're talking about the support messages, because we do have team members on that. So let me know. Once again, go to We're Live in your email inbox, or you can just send an email or an Instagram DM or just a support email. 100% will see it. You can respond back to any email you've ever received from us. It will go straight to our team. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Let's get into it. And again, here for you if you need anything. So we're up about $299 or $300 a share right now. $300 profit. We didn't invest too much this morning. It was a light day, just about $7,500. Not a huge position, but not a tiny position. And in this position, the market was seeing a lot of volatility. Look at the market, all red. APLD is down 5%. IREN is down 3% or 10%, excuse me. You got semiconductors having a rough time. SOXS was actually doing well, which is the inverse of the market was doing well. Randall, how are you doing today? You got the market of the robotics. This is what we're looking at here. So the robotics market, all right, AI robotics. Some things to consider, okay, in this robotics market. Why did we enter this trade this morning, and how did we enter it? So very simple. First, you want things working in your favor, right? So this really comes down to, and I wish I had my whiteboard so I could show you, but this comes down to the to having risk management, okay? But first, we're looking at the market. So the macro market, you got some things working against you, right? You got the tariff policies, you got the Federal Reserve, you got the Iran USA stuff, all these things working against you, right? But there's about 25 other things that were working in our favor this morning for why we entered this position here on SYM, that we're able to make this to $250 plus. And how we've been able to do it in about less than an hour is by this process. So first, market. You got the macro, things look okay. There's the only thing that's possibly good about the macro market right now is that we saw a huge pullback yesterday, which you might have a little bit of a rubber band effect. You might have a little bit of a recovery today potentially, and that's something. The second thing is that the market financials from a robotics perspective have seen a huge demand surge. All right. So not only did we see Tesla recently announce they're discontinuing some of their cars so they can double down on the Optimus robots, but you have the robotics market targeting trillions of dollars, right? So this is a really big market. AI is changing the game for the robotics. So that's the first thing in the market. Trillions of dollars of targets. We're talking 5 to 10 trillion. And then also the actual financials from the revenues of the companies that are in the robotics markets have increased. Okay, so we have seen that. So that's the A of the market. B of the market is the real world usage. So real world usage, for example, would include for Symbotic stock, SYMBOTIC here, not symbiotic, but Symbotic stock, is that they have had some recent developments where their robotics have seen real world usage. They've partnered here with Target, they've partnered with Walmart, they've partnered with Albertsons, providing the back-end warehousing for the conversion from a very manual labor to robotics doing the delivery and the AI-powered technology for the management of the inventory in the back end or the back of the store, right? As there's more shipping orders that are taking place, this has been a big deal. Now, we've been talking about this for quite some time. In fact, if I were to go back on our top stocks, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I could go back a couple weeks, look at that. That's January 3rd. So I guess a month ago, that was my top AI robotic stock here was SYM here, SYM. So then you see real world usage. So real world usage for sure. Robotics, real world usage. We already know Amazon is doing this. We already know other companies are doing it. What's going on, Blue Brains? How are you doing? Gary, how are you doing? AK says, I'm in the wait list. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, you're in the wait list. All right, if you're in the wait list, that means that it's closed right now. It's closed. But I believe we've closed Prophecy AI right now because I work with every single member. So it's opening up. If you could send me an email, it is opening up soon, and I'll keep you updated on that. In fact, if you go to the first link in the description, by the time you get through the video, you would probably notice that it's almost opened up because today is Thursday. So you'll have a full breakdown of what's included in the next phase of Prophecy AI. Okay, so Prophecy AI is here, and we'll get into it in a moment here. And I'll sign in here, and I can actually pull up SYM real quick. Let's do that, SYM. Here we are. Let's get that going. Okay, and so this morning when we were watching the market, we know real world usage, right? That's taking place in SYM. But then you get from the market, looks good in robotics, really looks great in the robotics market. Then you get over to the analysis. And so when we were looking at the analysis, a couple things. All right, A, you could say, or number one here. Number one is that you see the news for this company really good, right? You see the forklifts, you see the partnerships with Target and with Walmart, and you see some of this technology being deployed. But when you go over into the news just recently, for example, from this company, you'll notice that they've had some new deployments of their technology. Now, this is not small technologies. Mobile autonomous robots, new performance improving power. But the new opportunity of what they're doing are they have better battery technology, and they have super fast charging, and they have an automation system for industry leading warehouse systems. Okay. So they came out with this article. Second, then you have the financials. They just reported earnings today or the other day, just now, basically. Just reported earnings. I believe it was this morning. Maybe it was yesterday, excuse me. And their revenue came in at 600 million plus 630 million in the last quarter. Year over year increase of 29%. Adjusted net income, positive net income of 13 million. So this company is turning a profit as a robotics company. And the financials indicate, look at this, a ramp up in revenue, and their balance sheet increases as they get more capital and more assets, and 500 plus million per quarter. This company's on track to do over $2 billion, and their market cap's at 31 billion. They're partnering with Walmart, with Target, and others to make it possible for them to automate their systems as they go more e-commerce, and financials look amazing. So then we pair that and we look at the technical analysis. So we're still up about $215 profit, $230 profit from entry just a few moments ago. But let me walk you through the process. There is something that is a 3-stage reversal process that we always look from the technicals. There are things that you want in your favor. And a lot of things technically were in our favor this morning. Number one, you got the RSI and MACD. You see this pull down? When the RSI gets below this 30 and the MACD crosses down here below the negative, and you're seeing them here, that's usually going to indicate a buy. Not always, because you never want to rely solely on just one indicator, but from a technical perspective, that is a buy. So you see that sell down, then you get up here, that's a sell. You see when it spiked right there on the RSI, that's overbought. Then we see them sell back down. This morning, they were oversold. RSI, MACD oversold. You see it crossing over, moving out of that buy territory. So that's when we enter. Now, from a technical perspective, though, there's 3 stages to a reversal. The first stage is the actual trend. So you've heard that. We had a lower low movement over the last month. This is from January 9th until today. You had a very consistent downtrend, lower lows lowering down to 66. Then it would recover to 71, then it'd sell down to 63, and then it would recover to 67, then it'd sell down to 59, it recovers to 64. It's a lowering resistance and lowering support level. See that? Lowering resistance, lowering support level. And so as we see them pull down here, then we get into these levels here. The second stage of a reversal, whether it's reversing down or up, is going to be the consolidation stage. So how many of you guys saw that we had a downtrend yesterday? Probably saw, right? So same thing when we have an uptrend, but when we have a downtrend, the stage before the reversal to go back the other direction is oftentimes not going to be just a sharp change. It's going to be a consolidation and a change in sentiment before reversing. And so this morning, we start to see some of this consolidation. Now, we could still be incorrect and that we see downward pressure continue, but we did see SYM and a lot of stocks start to consolidate, meaning that they're going from left to right, finding support multiple times on the same level here at $50 a share, and resistance up here around 60. And so this morning, when they pulled down to about $50 a share, okay, $50.80, we then entered here at about 53, and then we see them consolidate, find that support level, targeting a 15% recovery. We set a plan in place where we're going for 13% profit, and that means we're managing risk at about 2.9%. So that put our stop loss just below the nearest and sustained support level at $50.87. So we set our support level at 50.87 and our stop loss just below that. So we entered on SYM and we see them recover as they continue back up to 55.50. So that's how we invested about 7K this morning and how we're able to so far earn about $330 in today's market despite broader downtrends. We identified specific markets and specific companies in those markets that were showing signs of growth, and we identified an opportunity after their earnings. So we're going to be in this throughout the day, and I hope that's helpful for you guys. Just want to share with you that process. Now, how did we confirm? Because you get into the technical analysis, then how do you get into the profit? How do you get into knowing, well, we looked at the risk to reward, right? So we looked, all right, here's our support or our risk. Maybe we're wrong, and that's fine. That's totally fine. What if we're wrong? It continues down. This isn't a reversal. It just continues down. Totally fine. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. In fact, it happens more times than it doesn't happen usually. But the key is to then have a risk-adjusted approach, right? A risk-adjusted approach means that you could even lose more trades than you win, but still be profitable. How is that possible? You win or you lose more times than you win, but still end up successful. Well, it's the same formula for anything in life. The people that are successful fail more times than they win, for sure. But in a mathematical term, just simply put, if we're going for much greater profit than that of our risk, then every time we, let's say, cut losses and we have that risk adjusted, we could afford to do that many times before it would equal the amount of profit that we're oftentimes targeting. Now, the key is that you're targeting profits that are large enough that your risk isn't so tight that you end up hitting your stop loss so much. You can do that sometimes if you see very clear momentum, you have a lot of certainty, and you want to take a large bet. I understand. But for the most part, if you're just going to have a repeatable system, it would make sense to, when you're investing, take on the approach to have much more profit than that of your risk. Now, we're in this trade. We're going to be in it for the next few minutes. The margin for profit was there of about 13% that we were targeting. When we look at the outlook from Prophecy AI, this is where we took the next step. So this morning, we are looking at some of the targets on Prophecy AI. And in the near term, we were seeing some corrections. Okay, we were seeing some corrections on Prophecy. And this was using Grok with our same analysis. So the same 21-step process that I just took you through, where I showed you, the markets, the real world usage, the financials, the news, the technicals, the market financials, the margins for profit, and the risk to reward. All of those things were just automated and given in the process along with real-time data to, in this case, on Prophecy app, we are using Grok. And Grok did the analysis for us and could tell us that we're looking at over the next day, about 1.5 to 2.5% margin for profit. They just had excellent earnings that came out, and that our target here potentially would be as high as 15 to 25% on the stock, with the nearest support level there around $52.27. So once again, it performed the technical analysis relative to the time frame that we're analyzing here, which was, medium term and long term, many different time frames. You could see that the support levels change. Like if I go to the next hour, it's going to have a closer support level considered than maybe the next month, because the next month and the next 3 months or 6 months, your risk will be adjusted. And also the support levels relative to the next 5 minutes, if you're trading on the short term, are going to be different. And so anyway, it automated that for me. I don't have to think about it. I can just not look at the charts and use Prophecy AI. And that's how we were able to catch this trade here on SYM this morning. Again, about $391 profit here. We are seeing it rally, and we are going to be moving our stop up now so that we can lock in profits no matter what. We end up with a profitable trade here. And so there you are. That's how we did it. So I hope it was helpful for you guys. Again, if you want to access Prophecy AI and you want to get your hands on our daily live trading sessions that we do every day at Market Open and see my entries, see my exits, join the community, but most importantly, be able to have more time because you have tools that can automate this process for you, then have a look at the first link in the description. Now, we've had it closed. As AK mentioned, he's on the wait list, and I know some people are on the wait list. Today is Thursday, and we've been talking about this for a while as we introduce more exciting features for the AI, that we were reopening Prophecy AI. So if you have been on the fence or been wondering, it's because we talk with every customer. We want to get the best feedback, and we're also adding a lot of new things like OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, and Meta. And as we add more models, it takes hearing your feedback as well and making sure that it's best tailored for you. So if that's you want to go grab Prophecy AI. We got some new things coming out. It's going to be in the first link in the description to go have a look there. I appreciate you all. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your Thursday.